Yeah, the Owlman. Owlman.
I'm gonna get real comfy on this. I'm not gonna lie to these people. You're gonna see me in some vulnerable positions, and guess what? I'm getting comfortable. Judge me if you want. I don't care. I like being comfortable.
Well, welcome back, y'all. There was a lot of bullshit before. Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Conspiracy Closet. Cryptid edition.
Another Thursday. You like creepy shit. Like creepy shit.
No? What you got on the table today, Stevie? What you bringing for us?
So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start with the Ahuitzotl. Directly translates to water thorny. Hold on.
You didn't say off camera that you've had sensitive lungs today, huh?
Told you, I got bitch lungs today. Also known as the water dog. The creature was taken as a mascot by Ahuitzotl, the 8th ruler of the Aztec, of the Aztec dynasty, whatever. And was said to be a friend of the rain gods. The first sightings was in the Middle Ages. The last time it was ever seen was in Mexico in the 1500s. So it's extinct, but it's pretty documented that it did exist. It lived in the remote wetlands and swamps or rivers in southwestern Mexico. It's from the Aztec and Mayan mythology. Those similar creatures are known to be of Hopi and Shasta tribes. It's said to look like a small dog, had streaks on its head, small pointed ears, and a hand at the tip of its tail.
Crazy.
A real hand at the tip of its tail. The picture, y'all see it. I posted it when I announced the fucking name. It is terrifying. Come on now.
Hey, cue another picture now.
It possesses dexterous hands, like raccoons or monkeys, as well as waterproof marbled black or gray fur. It was included within Book 11 of the Florentine Codex, which is the general history of the things in New Spain, written from the author of it. I don't know how to say his name. I'll put a link on, or a picture right here. He wrote it from 1545 to 1590 when he died, and he pretty much just documented all creatures of Spain. Wrote books on it. It was, I want to say, 12 or 13 books long.
Wait, from Spain of Mexico, right?
So he was I don't know. I don't know if New Spain was Mexico. I know Spain did own Mexico for a while, didn't they?
I know, like
in the 1500s, because then there was a whole conquista. Scientists believe that it may have actually existed and was a type of otter or ferret, which is also a relative of the otter. According to La Leyenda de Ahuitzotl, I butchered that, the conquistador Hernan Cortez once reported to the king of Castile that one of his men had been killed by an Ahuitzotl. According to the legend, it would submerge itself in a lake or stream and begin to wail like a small child or a frightened woman. Passerby would hear the sound and would come to help the victim. It could also cause all the frogs and fish in the body of water to jump to the surface, which would cause fishermen to the water and try to catch all the fish, and then it would catch it. Upon approaching the water, so when they did hear the victim scream or they saw all the fish, it would be strangled by the creature's tail hand. So it would use that to choke it the fuck out, and then it would rip it into the water, eat out its eyes, rip out its teeth, eat that, and then eat the nails, toenails, and fingernails.
Had an interesting diet.
Yes, and then
eyeballs, teeth, and nails.
Yes, and then it would toss it to the riverbank. It would leave the rest of it.
That's why it had
and then restart wailing to try to draw somebody else in.
That's why, because it wasted a lot of meat. It was still hungry.
Oh yeah, it just ate.
Live off of an animal.
Eyes, fucking teeth, and fingernails and toenails.
Crazy diet, man.
If a person was suspected of being killed by an Ahuitzotl, only priests were allowed to touch the body, which they only buried in a house that was surrounded by water or an Ayacolco. So it's like a big Native American thing where it's just a house by water and you have to bury it in there. If a layman were to touch the body, it's said that they would either be the next victim or they would suffer from gout. You would either get gout and die, or the victim would, the thing would get you.
Gout, man. The secret killer.
One telling of the story says that the Ahuitzotl was the guardian of the lakes whose purpose was to protect the fish. In other versions, it was sent by the gods Tlaloc, I hope I said that right, and Chalchulique to collect the souls of mortals they liked. The victims of the Ahuitzotl were said to be destined for the paradise of the god Tlaloc. Sightings have mostly been reported in Lake Texcoco area, though there have been a few reported outside the borders of that area, which would have been Aztec. Yeah, so it's a pretty much a real thing. Way back, conquistadors pretty much verified it. They said one of the men was killed by it. It's in different mythologies. It's kind of like terrifying fucking Native American thing. Mayan Native American.
It's just the fact that they use their hand to strangle you with.
To drag you into water. They don't even use their hands.
It's a real hand.
Yeah. It's a real ass hand. Like
nightmare inducing.
Yes.
It's the wailing. Everything that wails, man. It's
yes, if it draws you in by a cry, see, and that's the type of shit. When you said, yeah, if I hear something in the woods, I want to go help, but am I bad for running away? No, run the fuck away. I'm sorry you got caught, but I'm not getting caught. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. So yeah, the Ahuitzotl. If I butchered that, please tell me so then I can correct myself, but I think I did.
About the Owlman today, cousin,
the Owlman,
cousin, distant relative, same person as the Mothman. The Owlman is the name given to a large owl-like humanoid entity, noticeably similar to the Mothman. Lives in Cornwall, England, and has been sighted several times. The first sighting took place in 1976 in the village of Manan. Damn, Steven went from the Aztec language. I've got English, and I'm still fucking butchering. The Owlman is sometimes seen as the English counterpart of the Mothman due to the similarities between the Mothman and Owlman.
Yeah.
Same person?
That'd be pretty cool. What if daylights and moonlight?
Yeah, they just dap up. Hey, man.
Moth and owls.
Dap up at the family reunion. What you been doing? Oh, man, I just been causing a ruckus in Cornwall.
Hey, man, I went and warned them about that bridge collapse. You see me out there? Ah, man, I was busy at the tsunami. Ha ha. Good shit, my boy.
I made a road trip to America. They thought I was you, bro. I'm pissed. In the year of 1976, a paranormal researcher by the name of Tony Doc Shields came forward claiming that he had investigated a report of two young girls on a holiday in Manan who saw a large winged creature hovering above the church tower in April 17th. Some stories vary. Most are consistent when it comes to what the girls dubbed the creature, Owlman. On July 3rd, 14-year-old Sally Chapman was camping with a friend, Barbara Perry, in woods near the church. According to her account, as she stood outside her tent, she heard a hissing sound and turned to see a figure that looked like an owl as big as a man, with pointed ears and red eyes. Girls reported that the creature flew up in the air, revealing black, pincer-like claws. Sightings of the figure continued to be reported the following day when it was described as silvery gray, and on two occasions years later. In June and August of 1978, all within the vicinity of the church. Because both of the 1970 sightings involved Doc Shields, eccentric with a fondness for hoaxes, researcher Jonathan Downs acknowledges that Shields could have invented the Owlman. However, Downs claims to have interviewed a young man whom he calls Gavin, who encountered the Owlman in '89, independently of Shields. Gavin and his girlfriend claimed to have seen a creature about 5 feet tall. The legs had high ankles, large and black, with two.
Hold up. Can you imagine seeing a 5-foot tall owl with glowing red eyes and talons?
What? 15 feet?
I'm boxing the shit out of that thing.
I'm gone. I'm not even boxing that.
Why? That thing's faster flying than you are running. If it wants to catch you, it's going to catch you anyways. What's going to scare me is if I go up and box it and that thing starts turning its head all the way around.
I don't want to give it a reason. Maybe he just finds some other. Take him in the fucking. 1 to him. He's definitely coming out. You're definitely on that.
I'm fighting. Fucking insane. I've seen big ass owls, but 5-foot fucking owl.
I want someone to say how long the wingspan was. Yeah, can you a bird? It spreaded its wings, ankles, or its fucking legs go all the way up.
No. I'm running. That's almost as tall as my sister. I can't imagine an owl the size of my sister.
It's the size of my. Maybe an inch too.
Absolutely terrifying.
Too taller.
Absolutely terrifying.
That's
it turning its head around on you. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Creature, did I finish? Okay. The creature was gray with brown eyes. Brown The creature was gray with brown, and the eyes definitely glowed. 95, a female tourist from Chicago wrote to the Bureau, claiming to have seen a man bird with a ghastly face, a wide mouth, glowing eyes, and pointed ears.
Ghastly.
That was a tourist from Chicago. That was an American that came over and was like, dude, a man bird. Explanations. This is my favorite part. This got me hooked. Explanations. Possibly the Mothman. That's crazy. Possibly Mothman. Eurasian eagle owl, although in the 70s it had not recently. Just to think, it's the things with big ass wings. This one doesn't really wail, right? It's not. It's kind of hissing, which is
even scarier,
right,
yeah,
right?
dude.
But the idea of a big ass bird. Now, what it didn't say.
Owls, like this is the thing. Owls, I think, are the scariest of birds. One of the scariest of birds.
No,
there's some fucking terrifying birds.
Peregrine falcons. Terrifying.
That's true.
That's
but I mean, just like looking wise.
Oh yeah.
And owls are the same way. Owls are fucking assassins, dude.
Yeah, man. And if they're silent flyers, you ever like see them lift up their
you won't
plumage
know, and then they just snatch and they're gone, and you can't see them in the night. Like they disappear. His eyes glowing and come at you, and you're gone. Did Mothman?
It was like signalific, right? Like it showed up in times of hate. A day later, something happens, right?
Yeah.
He didn't have any.
No.
For the Owlman, but
that man just was out there, and nobody died. Scared the shit out of a few people.
Probably just like flying by or some shit like that.
I don't like that. That's scary. I don't want to. Even if it was a friendly owl, I don't want to see a 5-foot owl.
Watch, man. We're gonna do this fucking Final Four when it comes to these cryptids this month. It's just gonna be like Bat Squatch, the Mothman, Owlman, and fucking flying in the sky. That's what it is. They have domain over the sky, and you can't.
Or either that, or it's fucking Two-Toe Tom.
What would we do? Because we can't break it up into like a sea-based category, right? We have to.
That'd be a water.
Because Bessie can't. Yeah, but then what are we gonna do in the Final Four? Do air versus sky? Air versus water?
Air, water. So they break it down. By the way, shout out to Cryptid Wiki. We get a lot of our information from there. They have it broken down into like 6 categories. So we could kind of just, I think 2 of them are kind of the same. There's a hairy one, there's a flying one, there's a water one, and then there's like carnivore or something else like that. Like we could split them into like different categories. Like I think there's 6 total. So we just pick our favorite 4.
Yeah, but then the matchup's going to be so unfair. We're going to do like a water-based one against an air one when it comes to...
Don't know, though. I'm going to keep the trend going because I got the beast of the land between the...
God showed me an
image. This picture. It is absolutely fucking terrifying. If I saw this motherfucker...
I'd rather see the Owlman.
Swear, I really would too. So the beast of the land between the lakes is in Kentucky. It's said to resemble a gigantic half-man, half-wolf that walks on 2 legs and has 5-fingered human hands ending in vicious claws. The creature is said to stand over 7 feet tall with massive crushing jaws and glowing red eyes.
What is up with scary things, and red eyes,
That's
man?
Just demons. I think they're possessed or something. Like red eyes. If you see red eyes, run, bro. Even in humans. Like in those fucking pictures where it's like, oh, fix red eyes. No, that's a demon you're taking a picture of.
You've got a red eye. Get
away from those people.
Picture, I promise you.
I might be a demon. You don't know this. Or I might have been high. Who knows?
There's a 7-year-old you and you're stoned in it or something
Maybe.
like that.
I lived in Colorado all my life. Secondhand nature.
Damn.
So there's several legends attached to the beast. One legend speaks of a man who left Europe in the 1800s to settle between the rivers. This man supposedly possessed a disease that turned him mad over nightfall. Overnight just went absolutely insane.
Mad.
Super mad. Yeah, just crazy.
Got it.
This disease was believed to be genetic and was passed from parent to child over the years. They remained in seclusion, never went to school, and never had the desire to socialize with any others until one day they just went completely silent. So many believe that the family had died when they went silent. They knew they existed, but like they didn't go to school, they didn't do shit. Like they just went out into the woods and kind of just lived. They didn't want to deal with any of the society. Many believe that the family died because of all the disease and shit. And an investigation in the early 1900s revealed that their homestead was vacant and wasn't there. Who knows? They might have died, but no, they never found bodies. Early accounts from French explorers and traders in the region speak of their being warned of the shadowy presence of the loup garou, probably fucking butchered that, by Shawnee fur traders. A later legend claims that the monster is the spirit of a shape-shifting Shawnee shaman.
Okay, so
Shawnee shaman.
some Native American stuff here.
Yes. So they think that it's a shapeshifter. Dude, what the fuck is wrong with my reading today? A later legend claims that the monster is the spirit of a shape-shifting Shawnee shaman.
It's the alliteration.
It is, dude. It's so hard to say that. Who was killed in wolf form by the inhabitants of his village for abusing his powers. His spirit is said to still walk the woods in search of revenge. Accounts of this creature from the early days of American expansion into Kentucky tell of hunters disappearing in the woods, and of strange, unnatural howls that echoed through the forests at night. Another fucking howler, man.
Terrifying.
At this time, bison still roamed wild in Kentucky, and hunters would sometimes encounter mutilated carcasses of these massive animals, lying half-eaten in deep grass, their throats ripped open by massive claws. Bison are huge. Bison are big-ass fucking animals.
It is big enough to fuck with a bison. East of the land in between. That's what's big enough.
Facts. So even nowadays, there's efforts to restore bison in Kentucky. There's still rangers that find mutilating bison all the time. So modern sightings, there have been several reports of close encounters with the creature in modern times. One of the most frightening of these happened to a group of Murray State University students who were camping in the land between the lakes in 1973. A group of young men were enjoying the woods on a warm spring weekend, sitting around the fire built by their VW microbus, and having a good time. As the evening began to drawing in, one of the students went off to the woods to answer the call of nature, so to take a piss. When he returned to the campsite, he told his friends that he felt something was watching him and that he had heard something sniffling in the woods. His friend said that he must have heard a wild hog or some sort of animal.
So terrifying.
Yes, the student said he'd never heard anything like it before, and he grew increasingly nervous as darkness came upon them. As the night grew, the group started to hear shuffling sound and something large moving in the fallen leaves. It seemed to be circling around their campsite, moving incredibly swiftly.
Go now.
The boys began to become anxious. They shined their flashlights into the woods in the direction of the footsteps, but saw nothing, and then the howling began. It was wild, insane howling, like a wolf, only much louder than any other wolf could be, with an unnatural blood-curdling quality that made the howling almost sound like mocking laughter. It seemed to come from everywhere around them. First, one side of the circle of light around the fire, and then from the other. Soon, the terrified campers began to catch glimpses of a pair of glowing red eyes as they ran past in the dark. The terrified boys retreated into their Volkswagen bus and wisely decided not to stick around to get a better view. Tearing down the road, they soon saw that they were being pursued and that a massive, shadowy figure was racing behind them, barely visible in the bus's taillights. As the bus slowed to take around the corner, they felt a massive jolt, and it seemed as if something was holding the Volkswagen back. Giving it everything, they broke free and tore out of the forest and didn't stop until they were back on the Murray State campus. Back on campus, they found 4 deep gashes like claw marks torn into the metal of the engine compartment covering the back of the bus. Literally ripped into that thing, tried to rip the engine out of that shit to stall the bus out so that he could kill all 4 of them. Another widely circulated story tells of the discovery of a bloody scene inside the motorhome of a family camping in the area in the 1980s. Police are said to have found the horribly mutilated bodies of a visiting family lying in their blood-soaked motorhome, the half-eaten bodies of the family's young daughter lodged in a nearby tree. Bodies are said to have distinctive, massive claw marks. The incident was supposedly covered up by authorities so as not to damage the tourist industry in then economically fragile times. Get going. There is an alleged photo of the beast here. Nothing really like great that you can see. It is very shadowy. It's very Bigfoot-esque, but it's still something out there that is kind of terrifying.
Nuts.
So evidence for it and encounters with the beast between the lakes continue to this day. Experienced hunters shy away from the area, but those sportsmen who are new enough to the area laugh at the legends. often come home with tales of feeling as if they were being stalked in the woods. So even skeptics go out there and say fuck it, and they come back and they don't want to go back there. Deep hole-like nests are often found dug in the woods, with tufts of long, coarsely textured grayish-brown fur found within them. So big-ass nests burrowed into the dirt with big-ass fur in them. Rangers in the park are routinely asked what the strange howling was that camper heard that night. Quote unquote, I live in West Kentucky, 30 minutes from the LBL. I have tried hunting this thing, observation only, more than once. It was Moss Creek where the family was butchered by this thing. That's when they put up the gate there and banned overnight camping, and it closes down at sunset. The excuse they gave at the time to preserve tourism is that there was a random stabbing one night. Two cops talked to a girl at a well-known gas station type store and were regularly in there, and they told her about what they saw. No bodies or body parts, but shredded, bloody clothing on the ground and in some trees, blood everywhere. The girl told me this personally, and I will leave it at that. This happened in the late 80s. I have talked to old timers in Grand Rivers, Cadiz, and they basically all say the same thing, that it's real. Some wouldn't talk to me at all. There's a whole bunch of people. That was a quote from somebody that just put it on here. That same person, his mom actually passed away, but she has a full documentary on, I don't know where it's available at, but it's the Hunt the Dog Man. So she really pursued. She spent a good majority of her time really going out there and trying to do it. And that was just a quote from him, kind of, or from that excerpt from that documentary. So she went around, she studied all these things, went to talk to all these old timers, all that shit. That was an account from her. Then that guy put it in, said, my mom passed, but this is my way to preserve her legacy. So yeah, crazy shit. If you live in Kentucky near the land between the lakes, chime in. Let us know if that shit is crazy. We have a couple of people in Kentucky that were on that last video that watched. I looked on the breakdown. So yeah, if y'all are over there, let us know, because that shit is crazy. If that big ass wolf man.
I brought the Kongamato to the table today.
Okay.
So the Kongamatos are large pterosaur-like cryptids living in tropical and subtropical regions, particularly in Zambia, the Congo, and Angola. It resembles a pastiche of folkloric flying monster, name meaning breaker of boats or overturner. The Kongamatos said to have capsized the canoe, attacked people close to the nearby. It is described as a reddish lizard with membranous wings and teeth. This wingspan ranges from 4 to 100 feet across.
Why is it such a wide range?
Well, because it's a goddamn dinosaur is what it is. When shown a picture of a pterosaur, natives said that it was a picture of a Kongamato. Accounts told of these creatures are similar to the ones that describe the rope-in of Papua New Guinea, so probably a similar creature, as well as with several other creatures. There are several historic reports of European attacked by large winged. Quite often, people were reported to have received Kongamatos. It is thought to eat mostly fish, but occasionally humans. Terrifying. Kongamato was also said to have dig up graves and steal corpses because in Africa the burial is usually not too deep. Interesting, a good portion of modern Kongamato sightings happen in a prime birdwatching site, yet bird watchers never report anything, indicating that the Kongamato may in fact be a case of its identity. Sightings. One of the earliest reports of the Kongamatos is from traveler Frank Melland. It is depicted as 1932 on Africa. Explanations could just be a case of mistaken identity, although it also thought to be a kind of links up to the belief from other places have huge winged creatures that are attacked, right?
Yeah.
These creatures, like sky creatures, right? Live in the sky, live way too far, live in. Oh, my mic's not picking up.
And if you turn this way,
yeah,
it's only gonna catch what directly goes in.
But yeah, a nice little short one. Cue some pictures of a pterosaur here, which is what it's most likely could be. I thought this one was interesting because it just kind of begs the question: what if dinosaurs are still out there? They're just so big, so fucking high.
Goes into the atmospheric beast, man.
Exactly.
There's life above that we can't see, so below that we can't see.
Exactly. Thought that was a nice, interesting one to bring to the
Question:
table.
What is membranous wings?
So I'd imagine it's just like a see-through kind of
like a bat wing.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine it as. Kind of
Yeah.
like translucent, can kind of see
Do you
some light
imagine
through it.
100 feet wingspan?
All right, we are over here obsessed with flyers, man. We go through phases. We'll go like super water heavy, super
Go super fly
bipedal
heavy. We'll go
heavy.
super fucking just big scary thing heavy.
I went super aerial today, but yeah,
I
man,
like it.
4 to 100 feet is just gnarly.
Yeah.
But that's also like
That's such a big, broad thing, though. Like, is that
you're not
just
being
assuming
seen.
that there's babies too? Like, there's baby ones that have 4 feet ones? Or are those
I
just
don't know.
the young?
Yeah, that's a crazy range, right? From 4 feet to 100
Because
feet.
there's no way that somebody saw 4 feet and then the other one was like, nah, bro, that's 100 feet.
Yeah, I would assume there's multiple.
Or like the first one was just 4 feet when it was a baby,
Well,
and then it grew up and it was all like later.
They're seated different places, so it could just be more. It could be multiple, man.
Which
it
is
could
true.
Be multiple. But crazy.
Wow. Try to look up in the sky a little bit more when you can, because obviously there's a whole lot more going on that we definitely ain't seeing.
We just glossed over, I guess. Obviously,
Just try to look.
How are they that big and not being seen? Is my thing.
But I'm fucking
They're so
saying,
big.
bro. That shit is wild to me.
Yeah, I think it was a good episode.
That too. The two of mine scared the shit out of me.
Nice, solid. Yeah. Great.
I'm glad. I'm proud of myself. To say
Ahuitzotl. And said it so many times.
Ahuitzotl.
Some good cryptids for this episode, y'all.
Yeah, make sure y'all hit
like,
the comments. Tell us what you think. Y'all still ain't told us your favorite cryptid, so go ahead and drop that for us. We'll do some research. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, share this shit. Try to blow us up. We're trying to get back to episode 1 numbers, so help us out with that.
Yeah.
We love y'all.
To the next episode. Peace.
Oh, we weren't recording that whole time.
Yeah.